You heard of Barmy Star? Today we have an interesting mini scheme to go over. We're going to take a look at the single back spread out of run and shoot. We'll be looking at seam option, O1 trap, zone alert bubble, and PA slot crosses. If you haven't already, please subscribe. We appreciate the support. Now, this scheme was actually influenced by or encouraged by a YouTube video that Deuce Close put out. I want to say yesterday or the day before. The link will be down in the description, just in case you haven't seen it already. So the video, however, was just talking about a great pass and play that is simple, easy reads, that's going to beat all coverages, right? And if you guys know anything about me, I love easy plays. You got one play, you can use it as a base. It's going to beat everything. The reads are straightforward, nothing complicated about it. That's me. I like to base my offenses around that sort of thing. So he was doing 4 verticals out of shotgun spread, and I decided which spread offense for me would be suitable, which won't be ideal for this offense. And I figured single back spread, because we have the O1 trap and single back spread. So anyway, you'll see on screen, I'm trying to hit this comeback because that was a big selling point for me anyway of that offense. And the comeback is not getting open against cover 3 the way it did for him. Now, he did mention that he's on next gen, so it could be a next gen thing. So I switched into display comebacks that has stock comeback routes to see if maybe that got open a little bit differently. And you see that DB actually does give you an opportunity to throw it out better than the comeback that we were hot routing in verticals. However, he takes 4 or 5 steps back, making it look as though he's going to close the window, and then he drives back down on the curl. So it's better than the vertical one, but it isn't necessarily ideal. So we're going to take a quick look at that again in instant replay so you can see what I'm talking about. He bumps him, he throws him, and then he steps back as though he's going to cover the comeback. And then it looks as though the comeback just gets out of his range as he passes the 50, and he drives back down on the curl instead. So it's a pass we can make, but that's a read that, I mean, you can easily make a mistake on. So you see now a smart route at the curl, and it holds the DB better. He does half a step in that direction, and it looks like the half a step is really just still thinking he's covering the curl, and then he just stays with the curl. So now the comeback's open a whole lot better, which is great. So that's the setup that Deuce Close was doing on the left side of the field, or the near side of the field. Now, mind you, he wasn't using a curl, of course. He kept that vertical, but I have no problem with the curl. I want to make sure that the elements of the offense that I have, I need that comeback. I think the comeback's a great route, and the curl over there, I'm okay with exchanging a vertical for the curl if need be, because we're still going to have the 2 verticals on the right hand side, and the halfback, you'll see I'm a little bit flexible with. I know Deuce was putting him on option routes, and I love option routes, but I'll put him on wheels sometimes. I'll leave him on his route sometimes as well. So we got the left side of the field covered, but now we need to go ahead and figure out the right side of the field, which we ideally would like to have an option route where A is, but since he's on a curve, we're going to streak him and we'll put B on a fade. Now, the hot route fade isn't as great as the stock one that you get in verticals, and that streak to the A receiver is another route that is very important, I think, in this scheme, in the way that it finds a hole. So you see, I tried it with the streak, I tried it with keeping that curl, and the A receiver is not doing what I want him to do, not with enough consistency. I think once or twice we're able to hit him, but it's a tight window, and it just isn't what you want. If this is going to be a base play, you want better options. So you see, I tried it with the fade, and that just gets him too close to the sideline. That's going to jam up things for both of those 2 receivers, and that's not good offense. That's not good play design. So we can't do that. Of course, the halfback, that's simple. That's doing what it's supposed to do. It's doing what you want it to do. So let's see what our other options are. Now we do have this play seam option that has every route that we want except for the comeback route. But let's see, because maybe this curl route is the missing element that would still get that hot routed. Yeah, see, the hot routed comeback actually looks similar to the one in the comebacks play now with the curl. So we didn't smart route it there, and I don't believe I smart routed it here. I want you to just have a look and see that it actually does react very similarly, if not the exact same, as the one in the comebacks. So you watch that DB, he's going to step back a few steps, yep, and then come in and drive on the curl. So this gives me confidence, because I believe that if this is happening, we could very likely smart route that curl much like we did in the comebacks play and get the window we're looking for. So let's give that a try and see how it does. Absolutely, the DB stayed on the curl, so that's perfect. That's exactly what we're looking for. The left hand of the left side, or the near side of this offense is perfect. Let's have a look at the right side. The right side should be fine. This is verticals. This is exactly how we want it. We got the stock fade, we got the stock option, and there it is. A hits the hole just the way we want A to hit the hole. That's perfect. I'm not gonna go through all the other plays, because the truth of the matter is I wanted to make sure I could get the verticals element to work the way that it was for deuce, or somewhat similar to the way that it was for deuce before I went in game. So this was actually, I was really labbing this. I was really going through 4 verticals and going through the comebacks and going through seam to find something that worked. And that's what this is. This is my raw lab footage. So I didn't lab PA slot crosses. I didn't lab the bubble, and I didn't lab a one trap, because I know how to run those. But what I am going to do is try the verticals real quick against 3-3-5 wide, because their cover 3 is a buzz as opposed to a sky. But you see, the comeback route works just the same. So once I did this, the way I would run it. And you see, I'm going to need more time making these reads. You want to read from the right hand side. See where the B receiver got bumped? That should have been my go-to. So you're really reading the wide side of the field first. And the truth of the matter is, if B or A get bumped, chances are you want to throw it to that receiver that gets bumped. You just take a look and see if it gets open. But the 0-1 trap is the next, is the main reason I wanted to do it out of this formation, because 0-1 traps are very difficult to stop this year. This is a formation where you got people spread out, and you're going to be passing the rock around like crazy with this verticals play. And these passes aren't coming over the middle of the field. So the resources, the defensive resources, are going to be doing this away from the line of scrimmage, and you're going to have all day to just eat in the middle of the field. So it's going to be incredibly hard to stop. I also love that we have a bubble going either way, so you'll see that in this video as well. So I didn't play a whole bunch of games. It was very, very late last night when I watched that video, and I actually got out of bed because I had to lab this, and I'm recording this in my car on my way to work, because I said, man, I have to get this out as soon as possible, because I think it's a lot of fun. And I actually did something on Singleback Spread 2 or 3 weeks ago out of this formation, out of this playbook. Sorry. See, so you see, we're able to hit B in the seam. We just hit both of the seams from either side of the field. We get the fade wide open in the end zone. So you see, the progressions here are great. Now I'm going to flip the play, because I want the wheel behind that curl. I love those on the same side of the field. I put Cooper on a drag. See, so a lot of these things now I'm freestyling, but the concepts that we all know and love, things that we're used to doing. So of course I would build out a full scheme around this, but the 3 plays, the 0-1 trap, the zone bubble, and the 4 verticals, there we go. There's nobody over the slot receiver. We'll take the bubble, and we take it to the house. Those 3 plays, you learn them properly. You take that vertical setup in game, or the seam setup in game, and practice those reads, rehearse those reads, rehearse that play. With this 0-1 trap and the bubble, you're going to be very hard to stop. Very, very hard to stop. So feel free to mix in other setups. You'll see I do a little something here and there when the defense makes it obvious that I should. But for the most part, I'm running 2 plays. And the bubble when he does something silly with one of his slot DBs. See, so I just put A on an out route because he decided to leave that open, but I was already in the middle of setting up a play, so I didn't want to switch over to the bubble and give him a chance to get out there. So that would have been a bubble otherwise. But he's gonna give me the same look. I knew he was gonna do it, so I waited. So now I'm gonna hit him with the bubble, and that effectively ends this game. he quits out when I scored his touchdown. So I'll do an update to this video, but guys, take this into the lab. It's amazingly easy, and it's amazingly hard to stop. So I appreciate you guys for your time as always, and you already know it's Berm. Give them hell. Have a great day. Enjoy your weekend.